It's been a long while since I actually enjoyed mining in a space game. I think the last time was perhaps Elite Dangerous when cracking open those massive asteroids. But it's not the only example. I also spent a lot of time mining back in my days in EVE Online. So yeah, mining in space is certainly an activity I find interesting, and I suspect a lot of other people feel the same way. Fortunately for us then, who enjoy this type of game, Starminer is an upcoming game focused exclusively on mining in space. It's been developed by Cool and Good Games and published by Paradox Arc. Now, the game was announced last year. I have spoken about it a little bit before, but I wanted to go into more details as there's new information. So here's everything we know so far about Starminer. Now, Starminer places you in the boots of space miners, and you're tasked with extracting valuable resources from asteroids. Your journey begins with a single hub ship at the cornerstone of your space empire, and this hub serves as the starting point for expansion, where various modules can be attached to enhance its capabilities. And as we move through this video, you'll see various different sized ships in the footage, from very small little things to massive true behemoths, and you can have all of these. Now, the game's core revolves around mining resources like iron, silicon, cobalt, thorium, water, and the rare eonite. These resources are vital for constructing new modules, manufacturing products, and trading for profit. Now, specialized mining modules and asteroid scanners help identify and extract these resources, which make strategic deployment of mining equipment crucial for your overall success. And as we've seen before, the manner in which you conduct mining and the gameplay loop surrounding that can really overall make or break the activity. So obviously it's crucial that Starminer gets this right. The developers then claim that mining is going to be sophisticated and in fact will go beyond just the resource extraction. Now, as players amass wealth, they can develop advanced hardware and expand their operations. The hub ship's modular nature allows for extensive customization, enabling players to create diverse space stations and ships for specific roles. Whether you fancy setting up solar panels for energy, building habitation units, establishing mining and engineering facilities, there are indeed a lot of options. And when it comes to constructions itself, players can deploy constructors, that is, small engineering vessels that deliver resources and assemble modules on site. The speed and efficiency of construction depends on the number of constructors and the availability of materials, and this will ultimately encourage efficient management. So yeah, you really have to balance things out. So yeah, obviously Starminer is heavily influenced by RTS games as well as management games. But that said, you can jump in and control your ships directly, and this is where navigation can get really interesting. And this is the subject of actually the most recent video from Paradox on this game. Starminer then does employ Newtonian physics, and players here must balance thrust, trajectory and velocity for precise movement of the ships. And yes, that does mean ships have 6 degrees of freedom, which allows for movement in all directions and rotations around all axes. It also seems that the game does model atmospheric less drag, so yet the void of space, the vacuum of space, means that after a little bit of thrust, you'll just keep going at the same velocity. That really will add to the sense of control that you're going to need when piloting your ship. I guess think realism or flight assist off. Now, in terms of economy, Starminer's economic system really is all about capitalism. Successful mining and resource management lead to economic growth, and this enables investment in better technology and overall expansion. The game emphasizes a cycle of earning, expanding, and reinvesting, with the ultimate goal of building a vast and efficient space empire. Strategic positioning, meanwhile, of mining rigs is supposedly going to be crucial for efficient resource collection. I'm looking forward to seeing how that actually works out. This will definitely be very much the management side of things, and here players must use the asteroid scanners to locate mining spots and deploy lasers to extract resources. The collected ore is transported by haulers to refineries, where it's processed into usable metals. These refined materials then are essential for constructing new modules and can be sold for profit, fueling further expansion and technological advancement. Now, as your operations grow, so too does the attention from hostile aliens, because yes, this is space, it's sci-fi, and there are aliens out there. And these adversaries pose significant threats to the mining activities and the economic stability of your empire. So to combat this threat, players will need to build defensive systems. And this means focusing on ships equipped with powerful weapons and advanced technologies. So yeah, that means a big part of the game is going to have to be anticipating alien attacks and then dealing with those. Now, in terms of realism, we've kind of touched a little bit on how spaceflight is going to work, and Good and Cold Games have emphasised that realism and immersion in Starminer really is a big focus for them. And I'm kind of hopeful here that the graphics are going to help with that. They do look kind of utilitarian, which is always leaning more towards, in my mind at least, the side of realism. Now, is the game a single player? Is the game a multiplayer? Well, primarily the game is a single player, but the developers have said that future updates will introduce cooperative and competitive multiplayer modes, and these modes will allow players to collaborate or compete, which will kind of add another dimension to the game and hopefully extend some of the replayability for those of you who enjoy playing with other people. So Starminer then is going to be an early access title. It's planning to release later into early access in 2024. The developers have outlined plans for ongoing updates and expansions during that whole process, and this, I fully realise, is something that some people are growing quite wary of in this day and age due to the sheer abundance of early access titles. Now, I'm sure many of us can cite early access titles that have failed miserably, but equally there's a whole load of early access titles that have done very, very well. In recent times, Manor Lords really does come to mind. A great management game that I've really very much enjoyed. So hopefully Starminer is going to lead more in that direction of being a quality early access title. So there we have it. That is everything we know so far about Starminer. And I'm particularly interested to see how they're going to balance the RTS elements, the management elements, and the ability to directly control your ships. All of this looks like it is a recipe for something quite interesting indeed. But yeah, time will tell. We'll have to see how it goes. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about everything we know of this game so far. Meanwhile, why not watch the other video linked on the screen right here, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.